America's top-ranked realtor, Ben Caballero, is the current Guinness World Record title holder for most annual home sales transactions through MLS by an individual sell-side real estate agent. A new home sale specialist, Ben was the first and only real estate agent in U.S. history to exceed $1 billion in annual home sales, now 3 years straight. It's a feat he recently smashed as Ben passed $2 billion in annual home sales, thanks to more than 60 builders that are Ben's clients. A former builder himself, no other agent in the world has helped more builders sell more homes and sell them faster than Ben and his industry-leading HomesUSA.com online technology platform. What's Ben's secret sauce to helping big builders sell more homes faster? In Part 5 of Ben Caballero's podcast series, Real Estate Lessons from the #1 ranked agent in the U.S., Ben explains why speed, accuracy, and efficiency are essential to the management of builder listings in the MLS. By fully leveraging the MLS, Ben helps his top builders make faster sales, increase profits, and reduce carrying costs. Listen as Ben digs into why big builders can't win with an outdated manual solution to manage their listings in the MLS, and how the HomesUSA.com platform uses automation combined with people power to help builders maximize the MLS.
I was once a home builder. I will say that building homes is a very difficult business because you are building a product on a site that has subject to weather and all kinds of conditions that you don't control. There's labor has to show up on time, materials have to show up on time, you're dealing with theft sometimes, vandalism. It's something that you have to create from scratch. You have to research it, you have to know your market, and you are not only designing, you're manufacturing, you're servicing, you're warranting, you're advertising, you're marketing, you're selling. So it's a very difficult business in my opinion, and people that are successful in it deserve everyone's appreciation and admiration. I created Homes USA because I perceived when I was a builder that builders were not taking full advantage of MLS. I was also a realtor at that time, and I was fortunate enough to be able to list my homes myself, and I saw the difference that it made. It created traffic that I didn't have before, created sales, and I just felt that builders needed a structured platform that they could do this, but do it efficiently and be able to rely on the accuracy of getting the data to the MLS in an efficient way. Whenever I started it, though, it was very difficult because I didn't have the platform, and I realized I was getting faxes and emails and phone calls, and sometimes I get a price sheet with scribbling on it, and I was supposed to take that and make it into an MLS listing. And I realized that was just folly. That was just never going to work. So that was the beginning of the Homes USA platform. I realized that we needed to do something, and now it's very efficient. We can turn these around in an average of 13 minutes. And if information is not in MLS when it needs to be, then it's not really doing anybody any good. It doesn't help realtors, and it doesn't help the builder if it takes several days or a week to get the information on a price change into MLS. Time is going on, and they're missing buyers. Some builders do not believe or understand the importance of data being accurate. I've had builders tell me that it's part of our strategy to have our prices not be accurate, because sometimes buyers then perceive that they are getting a value, because if the home is priced higher when they get there than what we have in MLS, consumer then thinks they've got a bargain. I don't see that as really good for the industry. It's not perceived by realtors as good. They begin to wonder what is real. They tend to rely on what's in MLS because that's their Bible. And if they cannot rely on that, then they wonder what else can they not rely on when they get out to the model homes. Accuracy is important, and anybody that thinks that it's not, I would question why they think that. Builders really don't know what they don't know in a lot of cases. They've been doing this way for years. It's worked for them in good markets. Now, when markets change, then sometimes you put a light on things that don't work anymore, and it would be better to have all of your systems in place. One of the biggest and most successful builders we have is active in all Texas markets, and they are focused and intensely aware of having the accurate data, and we get along with them very well, and I think that that's one of the reasons they've been successful. Homes USA ensures data accuracy in several ways. We have built-in validations. Right now we're up to 52 built-in validations to ensure that square footage, price, remarks, garage spaces, all of that is accurate. The platform can also flag if the square footage and the price are inaccurate, out of deviation with what is normal for that community. We also look at the information visually as it comes in, all the fields that are changed, we see what those are. We scan them to see if there's anything that needs to be, we call it returned to the sender with a note to correct it, or at least explain it. We're very, very conscious and spend a lot of energy in making sure that the data is accurate. Another thing that we do here at Homes USA to ensure the data is accurate is that we have a deficiency report. That is monitored every day, and what it does is a report on any deviation in price between MLS and our data. So we make sure in that way that there's no mismatch. In addition to our internal reports, we have sales and marketing reports for builders where if you want to know what homes are selling, what prices homes are selling for, what agents are selling homes in a particular price and geographic area, you can do a report in 2 seconds. And it's updated several times a day, so if you want to know which agents have sold homes in that particular area, no problem. If you want to know which builders are selling in a particular area, who's selling those homes for the builders, then that's available in the same period of time, just a couple of seconds. If you have a sales counselor that is not familiar with a particular market area that he's been transferred or she's been transferred to, there's a report that lists the realtor offices and how many agents are in those offices. You can determine the most productive offices. Production builders are the ones that this platform was built for. If you're building 10, 12 homes a year, you don't need us. But production builders are building essentially hundreds of homes in a year. And there's like 200 fields that in a listing. So you're dealing with a lot of data, and a lot of it gets changed, particularly with new homes, because homes are listed before they are complete. So the construction stage needs to be changed. They change the price quite often. They change the remarks. Sometimes there'll be a sales counselor changed, and that needs to be changed too. We touch a listing on an average of 22 times, and that's not counting the photography. Whenever a home is complete, we have a reminder to order photos. When a home is under contract, we ask when will it be closed, and then we have a reminder for that. If it goes beyond that time, then we are contacting them first by email, then by phone, so that the information is put into MLS in a timely manner. Case studies show that builders who list with us have been able to lower their days on market. And they do that because the information is timely, it's accurate, it has good photography. If you don't have good photography or no photography, then your listings are not going to get the same interest that they would otherwise. It's about doing a lot of little things that production builders can't do because the detail is just so overwhelming. MLS is a real value to home builders because it is the Bible for realtors, and you don't pay a realtor to sell your home until your home is sold. And so there's no out of pocket and there's no waste really. Without MLS, I don't know what builders would use otherwise. They can spend a lot of money on advertising, marketing, but that doesn't really create a sale that they can say, well, if we spend this much money, we're going to get this many sales. Whereas with realtors, they can budget that. And the other thing about MLS is realtors sell most of the homes. 85 to 87% of homes that are sold by realtors. They have the buyers. So if you're not catering to those realtors, if you're not making the information available, if that information to the realtors are not accurate, if they can't rely on it, then you're missing the boat. If you think about it, MLS is the most powerful and least expensive, most efficient marketing platform there is to sell homes. If a builder is not using that, and I don't mean using it in the way that you just put stuff into MLS, slam it in there and forget about it. I mean use it where you have the information accurately, it's being monitored and managed, then you're just not with it. You're not going to be as successful. I don't know how many times when we get a new customer or a new community come online, but they don't get it to us, and they transfer someone in there from another community, and they call us and say, what's going on? I'm not getting any traffic. I said, well, your community is not in our system yet. So we put it in and bam, okay. Then they call us and say, well, thank you, we're getting traffic now. One of the sad things that I've noticed in the industry is that major production builders don't really get it as far as MLS is concerned. I was talking to a builder, and I knew, because I'd done the research, they had like over $2 million in price discrepancies. I said, so how are you managing your MLS? Well, you know, we have Mary and our assistant over in that internet department, and they do that. I said, but what do you do to oversee it? How do you know that it's being done correctly? They didn't know. They didn't know. And that is just amazing to me that a major production builder, and they're not just by themselves. I mean, there are a number of them, but they are successful. I just wonder how much more successful could they be if they could understand what they are not doing and could implement it. The other thing that production builders don't realize, they spend millions of dollars creating a brand, and then they overlook what MLS is doing to that brand whenever they enter poor information. There is one major builder that I've observed that do it in-house, and what they do is they put all their homes in prior to construction, so they show incomplete. They never change. That home is always incomplete, no matter if it's on the market 300 days. Their photos, if they have photos, they are taken by their sales counselor, and they are just atrocious. If I were a builder, I would be embarrassed to have some of the information in there in the photos that I see. I did a case study a couple of years ago, and I found that approximately 30% of all new homes that were listed in MLS had price discrepancies. We're talking about tens of millions of dollars in price discrepancies. Now, that's just price discrepancies, okay? I'm not talking about construction stage. I'm not talking about photos. I'm not talking about square footage, garage dimensions, just the price, okay? We do, in our market, about 26% of all the new home listings. I feel we're making a difference. But if builders could just get with a program on accuracy, realtors would really be appreciative and would help them sell more new homes. Production builders that use our platform can be confident that their homes are going to be in MLS accurately. They don't have to worry about a very tedious activity that no one really can take care of but Homes USA if you're a production builder. I don't want to sound egotistical or braggadocious, but that is just a fact. Now, if somebody comes along and builds a platform comparable to Homes USA, then that would be another story. But it took me a long time and a lot of money to build this platform. And we don't get complaints. We get compliments. And it's so refreshing and gratifying, the fact that this happens quite often. We're invited to sales meetings. We don't call builders and say, could we do a presentation at your sales meeting? They call us because they realize the importance of what we do and the difference that we can make. We have a partnership with the builders. Whenever they call me, they'll say, Ben, it would really be nice if you could give us a report that does this. Or do you think you could do this for us? And I welcome those opportunities because they are using our platform and they see it from a different perspective. So whenever they tell us that they need something, I'm all ears because that really helps me know how to give them a better product. Production builders not only want, but they need the best of class in everything. And that's what we do. We are the best of class in managing MLS listings. And we charge a very nominal fee that is recaptured in probably 3 days of reduced marketing time. So the return on capital is just phenomenal, really. I mean, if you don't get 3 or 4 times return on what you pay for us, then I would be extremely surprised. There is no one, nowhere, nobody that can do it any better, quicker, more efficiently than we do.
And that's the legendary Ben Caballero, CEO and broker-owner of HomesUSA.com, current Guinness World Record title holder, award-winning innovator, independent thinker, business leader, and enduring entrepreneur, and clearly the king of home sales. This has been part 5 of Ben Caballero's podcast series, Real Estate Lessons from the #1 ranked agent in the U.S. We invite you to share this podcast with your colleagues. For Ben Caballero and HomesUSA.com, I'm Tom Kelly.